Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Kiwoom Learning, and this is Stock Picks. The stock we'll be going over today is Holicity, and it's actually the merging parent company of Astra. But the thing is, right now, Holicity is a space stock that is trying to send up thousands of satellites into space and is really trying to grow the overall space industry. Holicity right now slash Astra is valued at around $13.1, and the value has come down drastically by about 40% in the last 2 weeks, almost about going from 21.15 to 13.10. I do want to let you know that I did make a slight position earlier in the week when Holicity dropped so 12, and I bought them roughly around 11.8. I did make a position there, and if Holicity continues to fall, I will probably think about including more of my portfolio into Holicity. I just bought a small position for now, just trying to see how they go. But here's the reasoning. Holicity right now stands at an extremely important part of their growth when it shows that don't even pay attention to what happened back here, but they basically shot up within just 2, 3 weeks, going about 105%. And yet, within the last 3 weeks or so, Holicity has now fallen all the way back down to $13 about per share, and almost down 38, almost 40%. The thing is, with companies like these rocket companies, and especially just space companies in general, they usually explode straight out of the gate, recover, and then do relatively well in the long term as long as their proof of concept is there. It's exactly what happened with Virgin Galactic about a year and a half ago when they basically merged and they went out in 2019 in September and they just shot up dramatically. I'm talking about 216% in quite literally just a couple of weeks. And so while this is not as dramatic as Felicity, as you can see here, again, Virgin Galactic, huge sell-off and going down almost 55%, 60% at a single point. But since then, they've recovered massively, and they're actually up closer to like 143% since their absolute bottom point. And if you would have actually sold them before Chamath sold them last week, you would have had almost a 400% profit. So this was the main thing I was trying to get at Helicity right now. I saw Helicity go and make their news and Astra make the news about them coming out, but I thought they were slightly overvalued around 3 weeks ago. Right now, I do believe it's a relatively good time to get in, and I think just because of historical patterns with space stocks, as long as they do well in actual proof of concepts, I think they can totally run. And now that Chamath has now taken out $200 million, Chamath, if you didn't know, by the way, is an extremely respectable CEO of multiple different companies and has been an extremely good investor that a lot of people have actually listened to. And quite literally, yesterday or about 2 days ago, Chamath takes around $200 million out of Virgin Galactic. So this will probably dramatically send Virgin Galactic down. They probably will recover in the coming weeks, but right now, because so much money is coming out of Virgin Galactic, I thought that this is a perfect time to buy into Holicity because I feel like a lot of people are going to be trying to find the new and upcoming, space stocks after this huge sell-off in Virgin Galactic just happened. But it's not only just because of what's happening in Virgin Galactic, but what Holicity slash Astra is actually doing. Astra right now, I mean, if you just look at just about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks, Astra is likely to be the biggest beneficiaries of Cathie Wood's Arc Space Exploration, Arc X. So if this actually happens, I'm telling you my price target for Helicity is upwards of 30. And right now, I mean, as you can see, ARC X has been doing extremely well, and Kathy was been basically outplaying the market for the past year and a half at least. And right now, if Holicity slash Astrid could actually join up in this ETF, and you can see from here, they ARC X does intelligence, robotics, 3D printing, materials, energy source, so all this really hyper growth stocks. And right now, as one of the biggest asset management firms on the planet, AUM over 50 billion, ArcX is likely to see significant inflow. So this is basically just saying that if they were able to join, ArcX has not really been super volatile, but can actually help Holicity a lot right now. And the stock registering nearly 10% increase just yesterday. While this was about 2 weeks ago, Holicity was absolutely running, and since they've fallen back down, again, as I was saying before, I think it's an extremely good play right here. Not only because of that, but also just what's happening with other articles that are coming out, like what their goal by 2025 is. I mean, it's an extremely ambitious goal, and Astra's actually trying to say that they're going to try coming out, if you can see from this chart here, basically having by 2025 space services and space rockets being launched into the air almost every single day. And so while this is so good, is that the other companies that are building small rockets, but and Astra is expected to face huge competition. But the thing is, right now, they're just getting licensed launches extremely quickly, as well as the fact that they're getting huge revenue. just from bigger investors. And while they haven't really done too much of proof of concept right now, I want to try to get Holicity as cheap as possible. And I really do think if you get Holicity right now slash Astra sub 12, if you get it there, I really do think Astra has some kind of platform here to run to at least $30, $40. And to also include this, I mean, as I was saying before, they're basically going to try doing a practice of ride sharing. So basically what's going to happen is that they're going to like attach these smaller satellites onto these rockets that Astra's creating, which is extremely cost effective, and launch it into the air for basically extremely lower prices than really anyone else would be able to. I mean, they even make this analogy here. It's like putting a FedEx truck on a plane and flying it to New York and then driving it back to Los Angeles and driving the truck off a cliff. Basically, what they're doing is like you're able to have so much more to be traveled, even though it might not be able to do much in the end, the actual rocket itself, you're able to transfer just so much. And the Astra forecast, generating revenue of by 2022 expects it to climb by 300 million a year by 2025. I just want to cover that. And the last thing right now for Astra is just how cost effective they were. I mean, I was talking about this before, but although their capacity is nowhere near what the SpaceX Falcon 9 like planned rocket's supposed to be, I mean, their cost is just insanely low. I mean, 1 to 3 million for a rocket that goes up in space, delivering satellites and really basically anything that you would want delivered up to the space station, to, up to certain parts over certain countries. I mean, this is not only super cost effective, but they can do this daily. And even SpaceX, when you compare it, they'll be having to do it monthly. And right now, when you look at it, the company's again low cost model launches are costing about 3 million. Wants to reduce it to 1 million and have daily satellite launches by 2025. So I feel like this is a stock that can be really good in the long term, and you really do need to wait on this. I do feel like there will be extremely large volatility, but if Holistic can and slash Astra, if they can really make an extremely good sense of proof model here and actually show investors like what they're able to do, I think they're going to be able to run extremely well in the long term. And overall, just a lot of big investors right now are just trying to get some more money into diversifying their portfolio with the stock market slightly tanking the past week and just adding on to their positions. And I do think Felicity will be running in the short term as well. But as a long-term play, I really like Felicity as well. But that's all I have for today, guys. Hope you guys have a great day. Leave some comments and likes below. Peace.